Few enough strangers in Ironfast. Welcome. Are thick with Jotun.
The halls of Ironfast Keep are at your command, True Shield. This may be the hardest post outside of Melsenshire. I can't remember the last time we glimpsed the outside world. Might as well be in prison. It's a far-off concern to us in Ironfast. The Tuatha must be stopped. The only question is, how much is needed to stop them? I'll fight if it comes to that. I'm new to the Warsworn, but they say I have Lyanna's spirit. She was the first Impester. A champion of sorts, I think. No! What? You bastard! That rotten, useless idiot! How could he do this to me? He said he'd come back! Please, you must be mistaken. Please, tell me it's someone else. That fool. Go away, please. Don't you ask about him! How dare you, you insensitive coward! Leave me be! I'm still Warsworn, but I'll never be the same again thanks to this war. Don't you ask about him!
Sworn to war?
The circle of Vanguard.
So you're the Dreg Combe found gutting the testament. Good for him, I say. Looks like you can do some damage. Name's Eighth. Black Eighth to some. If you're half as skilled as Colm says, then I'd like to make an arrangement with you. I'm not much on history, but from what I've seen, that ruin sprawls under the whole canyon. If you see a place you can't get to over land, odds are the tomb will get you to it. Was a nice place to be once, before the Testament decided to move in. A cowardly man. A few battles don't make a warrior. He may find something to fight for, then again, he might not. Eighth Dunbert is dead. She was killed 2 years ago when the Testament burned her farm to nothing. I'm now the fury and vengeance of all the Testament's victims, and I have come to collect. He's quiet, probably knows all his letters by the looks of him, more at home in a library than these ruins. He's earnest enough, but who knows whether he can hold his own in a fight. The Testament has swept through the Feylands like wildfire. A few years back, they came to my farm, salted the earth, left not a stone standing. They tore my husband to pieces in front of me. Their mistake was to let me live. I have a chance to make them suffer, and my plan takes two. I don't rightly know, Dreg. Why don't you go ask them? Sorry. The Testament, they believe death to be salvation for all. But though they killed my family, they let me live. The bastards thought I would join their cult. Good, but we're not just going to hunt them down. We'll poison a few, and then dump the bodies into the Testament's water supply. When those bastards start choking on their own water, they'll regret letting me live. Their water flows from a cistern nearby. We'll need to go through the tomb of Aragnos to reach it. I'll meet you in the ruins. I want to poison a few of these Testament bastards and dump their bodies into the cistern. That'll corrupt the cult's water supply. When they're inside, start to burn. When they see the corpses of their brethren tainting the water, I want them to remember the life they took from me. We need to get to the Testament's cistern. It's their only water supply in the marches. Once we find it, we'll poison it. But I want to poison it with the bodies of their dead. We poison any Testament we see and knock their bodies into the cistern.
conversations. How goes the work? The monsters are dropping like flies, I hope. Very well. Just let me see how much I owe you. Well, there we are. All even. Would you like to continue helping me? Very well. If you change your mind, you know where to find me. Well, perhaps we'll speak later. I get the sod's clothes.
I saw you coming. Hope you'd visit. Just about mad with worry. What with the freemen roaming the hills and caverns. Tell me, child, have you noticed a young woman about? She's quite fair, with red hair, a tattoo like mine across her cheek. It's been 3 days. None of us wish to be without a roof over our heads, begging for our meals from any man or woman who passes us by. It's not what any of us planned. It was fate. I am no one. Everything that defined me, my livelihood, my family, my home, all of them were left ash by the Twatha. Lyra is my life now. Their campfires burn all through the night and cast unsettling shadows. They're the worst kind of bandits. Those who don't kill for excess, but for necessity. My newfound love, and the only person I have. Everyone, my wife, my son, my grandchildren, all of them were killed in the attacks. Nothing remains but Lyra. She and several of her friends went in search of a better place to make our camp. This wretched sun takes its toll, doesn't it? But they never returned, and I worry. Would you do an old man this one kindness? Would you help me find her? Thank you. I am not rich, not anymore. But what I have left to give is yours. It means nothing without my love. Lyra went in search of refuge in Oriata's tomb. A better place than this desolate cliff. I would try the cemetery on the hill where they buried all the old war heroes. She resisted my advances at first. Tried to use our differences in age to deny the connection. But in the end, fate played its beautiful hand. We began as friends. I was the hunter and she was my apprentice. But her skills quickly surpassed my own. She is a gifted woman, a true wonder. A fitting memorial for a great man. He saved our people from complete destruction. If I had the strength, I would climb that hill and pay my respects. She and her friends were crawling all over the hill near Oriata's tomb. Not exactly the way to show respect, but she meant well. Be careful. Yeah?
You've come to Nareen Farm. What's left of it, that is. Here we are after years away, and it's as if the Earth's forgotten us. To think we once called them friends and neighbors. Am I right, Auric? When the war came and burned our farm, they turned their backs on the likes of us. Without some kind of miracle, it's no farm at all. Mind you, I'm well aware that's just how Tyrion's Rest wants it. Me and Auric here have come back to farm our land. We've been many years away, endured many a trial and hardship to return. That Arella, she was what you'd call quite a bit adventurous before the war came and she took up the priestess mantle. Look at it, laid out before you. How many nights that we've been lonesome wanderers have I dreamed of seeing this again, and now at last we've returned. Oh, he's a bit quiet, I know, but he's the man for me. Wouldn't have no other. That, or it's forgotten how to be a farm. We'll have no choice but to leave, unless some miracle comes, and why, Auric dear, we'd clean forgot the paling wand. Oh, but it's deep in the hollow, and the Adaris Hollow's not safe at all. Well, if the stories are true, Auric's granddad used it to tame this high land and make crops grow. He'd always say how he had to return it to the hollow, so the hollow's magic could fill it up again. Our seeds don't take, or they turn into other plants. The weeds grow monstrous, and the tilled earth wanders out of planted rows. It's hopeless. You would? There are all sorts of wild fae in there. Oh, but that wand would save us. Adaris Hollow's due south, just below the bluff. If you can bring the wand to us, I don't know how we'll thank you. Let us hope it is, or we'll have no choice but to leave once more. Well, you'll find the hollow due south, and the slope down from the bluff. For now.
I saw you speaking with the vagrants on Beggar's Bluff. What lies have they told you? Why have you come this way? You must not. Lyria has cast them out. The very fact that they must debase our blessed valley with Fae sorcery proves it. Instead, you should bring the wand to me. Priestess Arella will destroy it, and that will be an end to that. They will be forced to go. I will not deny the Nareens lived here once. I even played with Auric as a girl. but they have no place here anymore. Lyria did not shield them from the Tuatha. It was against her will that they remain. Those heights across the Vale went by another name before the war. Now, because of the filthy refugees who wander in from the western plains, we call it Beggar's Bluff. Only to see those vagrants leave our land peacefully, nothing more. Fear not, you will be rewarded with gold as well as Lyria's grace. Please, think on my offer. Be guided by Lyria's will.
Now you You've been to the Hollow? Did you find the Paling Wand? Why, I remember her. Weaselly and cruel behind folks' backs. Always trailed in Aurella's skirt tails, whatever she did. 1,000 blessings on your head. Look, Arik, the Paling Wand. Just as your grandfather spoke of it. You've given us hope when we needed it most. We have little to offer but these herbs. Take them, and bless you. I, for one, will take great joy in wishing her sour face a blessed day every time we meet. The Paling Wand will let us make a farm of this abandoned waste. Not without sweat and toil, mind you, but make it all the same. For now.
Hello there.
Hi.
May I help you? Be careful out there.
Don't let your guard down.
What do you need today? Come see me again.
help me, please. I've been robbed. The rogue stabbed me, made off with my belongings. Blast! I can't believe I lost the amulet! Damn, Freeman. We refugees are an easy target. There's little we can do to defend ourselves. Not professional bandits, exactly, but sly enough to cut a living out of this dried and dusty wasteland. You never know where they're going to strike next. It was an item of much sentimental value. It had a name. The Ear of Barnabas. No, the Eye of Sunspar. It was something ridiculous. Haven't you heard? The Tuatha have moved raiding parties inland. They've sacked homes all along the coast. Farms burned, whole families killed. Those of us that have survived are moving west, hoping the Summer Fae will provide a safe haven. The last hope for the hopeless. They should be ashamed of themselves. With all they have, the least they can do is spare a little extra for the dying. We're not bad people, just unlucky. I am a refugee heading west from the Tawili coast. A grieving son leaving his dead mother behind. To think there is scum that would steal a man's sole inheritance. He came from the cliffs, a bandit, I think. Stabbed me in the back, then made off with my satchel in his hand, and a wicked smile on his face. My mother's prized amulet is gone. A kind woman's last gift to her devoted son. I am in no condition to give chase. Will you help me? I don't know. It looked like one of the bandits that prey on us poor refugees. That amulet could fetch a fair sum. Thank the gods. I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't passed this way. The bandit left me bleeding by the roadside, running north into the Cradle of Summer as fast as his legs would take him. Hurry, there isn't much back so soon. I'm not sure, but he went north, toward the cradle. He went north.
Oh, hello. I don't recognize your face. Strangers are somewhat scarce in a village like this one. Good day. I am Anchor Edmure, scholar and novice sagecrafter. Of course, I may not be a novice much longer. Not after the Scholia Arcana reads my latest discoveries. I've lived in a mare for many years, uneventfully so. But recent events have led me to believe that my time here is all part of a greater destiny. You see, my apprentice Donald and I have noticed strange weather patterns that occur only in the Forsaken Plain. We don't have answers yet, but we will. They are the supreme authorities on magic, and for years I have petitioned them for membership. Unfortunately, they have yet to recognize my scholarship. I follow the strains of magic to this spot, across fields and forests, and overseeing stone. There's a great power resting beneath them air. It's ancient, wild. Very few have noticed, but the temperature around the Forsaken Plain is dropping. It's so slight that you wouldn't even feel the chill unless you knew to expect it. I don't know the cause of this phenomenon, but I'm sure whatever it is will greatly interest the Scholia Arcana. Farewell. It's nice to see a familiar face. So much tension in this village, I don't know whether to bolt the door or move away. Goodbye.
Hello.
I've seen some pitiful people.
What is it now? I've told you before, and I'll tell you again. We will leave when there is someplace else for us to go. Tell your friends in Emer that as long as the Tuatha burn our homes, we'll keep searching for a place to settle. Here we are safe from the Fae, all of them. We are simple people. We don't wish to be pawns in the games of immortals, summer or winter. As for Emer, the villagers have made it very clear that we're not welcome. There would be more understanding if they had endured our hardships. They claim to be low on supplies, to be unable to spare even the smallest charity. But I know better. I have seen. Unlike us, they have everything they need, and more. I was raised in Colm and spent my summers fishing the Tawili coast. And when the war came, I threw my lot in with General Tolera. May she forgive herself. I saw them with my own eyes, and I know Tuatha killed my fair share in the war. I am Elrod Edmund, leader of this pathetic band of ragmen. We come from the farms of the Twili coast. Go there now, and you will find only ruin. The Tuatha raiding parties terrorized us where we were safest. At home, there are spies among us, my friend, and they must be rooted out. Will you help me? Kill them. What else? I would do it myself, but I must lead my people. They have no hope left to speak of. My strength is all they have. Fine. Then we shall be discreet. There are 3 whom I suspect of scouting for the Tuatha. They are paid in gold. There is no record of their actions. Onred Amphast is posing as a military recruiter, while Froma and Nag are both residents of our camps in the plain. Be careful. Consider all of them well connected. Be swift. Be merciless. Onred lurks in the shade of the Forsaken Plain mostly. Try Amer, or the West Phalanx. Froma and Nag are likely in one of the refugee camps to the east. Good luck. We should not speak it. May justice be done.
What do you want? Do you always approach strangers out in the wild? It's a bad habit, to be sure. Few of us had even spoken to each other before the Tuatha came, but tragedy has a way of throwing disparate souls together. I was a seamstress who made nets for the coastal fishermen. My hands may be callous, but they're strong. I don't care where we are. All I care about is finding some place to call home. So if they can keep their blasted battle their glory, I just want a decent night's sleep. What kind of question is that? You want to know about the Tuatha? Go back to Tawili. Gaze at the fires that never cease. There's your education. What was I supposed to do? The Tuatha will sow terror far beyond Tawili to the depths of Dalentarth if they can. I only did it for the money. But I will never do it again, you have my word. Spare me, please. Bye.
Welcome. I know our little camp doesn't look like much, but it's home. After all, what is home but a place where people love you? I am Lord Crass, heir to Dolve Arn, and soon to be mayor of New Culm. Out here? No, I have not seen any Tuatha on this long, treacherous road. However, there are plenty of other dangers to avoid. Trust me. Bandits prowl the high cliffs to the east, and there is talk of spies among the refugees. But I am not one to heed rumors and suspicions. The war took everything these poor folk possessed. Their farms, their families, their future. Now they search for hope in a hopeless land. At Dolve Arn, I was born into wealth, into prestige, and I took it for granted. That is why I've devoted myself to raising these good people up. My cousin Cliath Arn abandoned Dolve Arn for a life of waste and frivolity in Rathir. When the war began, I was forced to hand everything over to the Alfar army, except Erlich here. I will return one day. It is my birthright. It is no place for these people. I've seen many sorrowful sights in my travels abroad, and nothing could have prepared me for the suffering I've witnessed here. If what they say is true, then the Forsaken Plain is truly cursed. Only the Fae could have spoiled a place so utterly. To them, death is just a new beginning. Ah, I'm glad you asked. The village of Culm was a place of peace, of prosperity. Now it is little more than ashes and bones. But by burning our homes, the Tuatha have kindled in us a fire for survival. We will build a new Culm. All I need is the gold to support this bold undertaking, possibly by retrieving the treasures of Culm. Care to help? There are many valuables, but only a chosen few will fetch the kind of gold we need to begin construction. A painting, an urn, a box, and some jewelry. A nobler soul I've never met. Now, here is what I intend to do, because like all good leaders, I have a plan. My plan involves the treasures of Culm. The people of this good village were not mere farmers, but members of the highest strata. Their collection of valuables was truly second to none. To safeguard those possessions, and because many proved cumbersome on this long journey, they hid them. I want you to bring them to me. Sadly, we will need to sell them. The items are in Bitter Cove, east of here near the hills. It was deserted when we spent the night there, but I fear it's been occupied since then. Goodbye.
We must seem pathetic.
You're a welcome sight. A minute more and I'd be joining our friends on the hill here. Thanks for the assistance. I just figured everyone out here in the Forsaken Plain was either a refugee or one of the freemen. Looks like I was wrong. Not all of us are from the village of Colm. We come from all along the Tuili coast. Farmers and merchants, veterans and scholars. The Tuatha have put our possessions to the flame, but we will never accept defeat. Not so long as leaders like Lord Crass and Elrod Edmund act as our standard bearers. I'm a refugee, like the others in the tents. It's a desperate place. People will do anything to see the next morning. Steal, kill, you name it. You've got to watch your step in the Forsaken Plain, for every cave holds a bandit. Every refugee might be a cheat out to swindle us all. The freemen are especially fierce, for they're fighting not for the take, but for their very survival. Not so different than you or I, they are. I don't mind it as much as most, but I was raised in Detir, so I can handle the heat. Can't stand the bandits, though. It's impossible to get a decent night's sleep. Actually, I'm a bit ashamed to say. I'm searching for a grave. But not just any grave. The last resting place of Azo Raymond, richest of the Tuili merchants. They say he died early in the march west, claimed by the Forsaken Plain. Rumor has it he's buried with the famous rings of Azo. I could live a year on those. I'm glad to hear it. There's plenty of ground to cover between here and Rathir to the north, and another pair of eyes will be a huge advantage. Most of the graves are along the refugee route, usually surrounded by crude markings or gestures left by loved ones. It's a pity they couldn't do more. I heard Azo profited greatly from the war in the east, but that he was forced from his home when the Tuatha plundered Erethel. He moved west with the refugees. But the Forsaken Plain is no place for fat, wealthy merchants. They say he died quickly, with not a soul to mourn him. If I knew, I wouldn't be hiking all over this hill, reading names on worn gravestones. With my luck, it's on the other side of the Forsaken Plain. Bye.
I knew someone would come. They all said we were as good as dead, but I held out hope. I don't know why. Never had any reason to hope before. So what's your story? Grave robber? Treasure hunter? Or like us, a refugee in search of shelter? We probably could have sought refuge in Rathir, but there is no way that Dokkalfar would have allowed us to stay. But if we don't belong there, where do we belong? I don't know much about Oriator, but what they taught in the village schoolhouse, before it was burned down. He was a war hero. Gallifore Fields, I'd gather. He is my beloved. Yes, there is a difference in our ages, but I believe that Omer's experiences have given him a lust for life, one to rival a man with half his years. Omer Vogard was Kuln's primary hunter, but it wasn't long after the Tuatha attacked that his hands gave out. Now he can't even hold a bow without shaking. I took over his job, and his heart. I tend to stalk my prey as opposed to shoot it. Something about looking it in the eye before it dies. There's respect in that. She's from the camp on the hill leading into a mare. She's a liar and a thief. Twice I've caught her sneaking into our tents to steal food. Worse than a boggart. The name fits. We didn't have an easy life when we farmed the fields below Kulm, but it was nothing like this. If the bandits don't get you, the starvation will. A good man, that one. Not one to give up on me. Well, it's good to know we're not forgotten. Of course, our problem remains the same. We can't leave. The tomb floor is rigged with a trap. We barely made it halfway in before Fea Gorta rose from every shadow. We reached the stairs, but now we're stuck. We weren't looting, believe me. We'd have no place to put it. In fact, we've already stored most of our valuables in Bitter Cove to lighten our load. All we were hoping for was some shelter from the elements, for a moment's shade. But this tomb is protected by something devilish, and it wants us out. How noble of you. If this were any other situation, I would question your generosity. But seeing as we're out of food, I'll accept it wholeheartedly. The lever to deactivate the blades is located in the room at the top of the stairs, past the rune trap that summons the Fea Gorta. If you can get us out of this, you'll be someone special indeed. Past the rune on the floor and up the steps in the memorial hall. Try not to let the statues scare you. I can tell you have a delicate constitution. See you.
Thank the gods. Our savior. I hate this hole.
Hello.
We've been here for days, and I can't take much more. I don't know what Oma Rogard sees in Lyra. She's foolhardy and reckless. At last!
Stop staring at me. I'm not doing anything strange. You're the outsider here. Tuatha? Are you mad? The only thing I know about the Tuatha is how they killed my cousins and put my granary to the torch. Who told you? Was it Froma? I knew she was weak. I need the gold, okay? The Tuatha took everything. The least I can do is take their money. Listen, spare me and I'll leave. Disappear. Just go where they can never find me. That's a promise. I worked in my uncle's granary. I hated it. But I guess that doesn't matter now. I'll take the little gold I have left and start my own business. Someplace safe, I hope. They aren't so scary. People round here are just bitter because the Tuatha destroyed their lives. I guess it's mostly a matter of perspective. I'm just here. What do you want me to say? My farm was burned just like everyone else's. They had farms in Culm, right? Goodbye.
Our savior.
Ha! I knew I could count on you to bring her back. I could see it in your eyes. A spark of recognition. You have a love too. Or did at one point, you know. There is no thanks worthy of this deed. But you were entitled to something. I was a hunter once. Those days are finished. Yours, it seems, are just beginning. See you.
Damn refugees.
I am on official business. Unless you've been sent by the Alfar army, we have no reason to speak. Let's just say I'm glad I'm not one of them. War is harsh on many people in many ways. Those of us who can avoid the suffering should. I'm here as a recruiter for the Alfar army. My superiors believe there's still fresh blood to be wrung from the Forsaken Plain. They're wrong, of course. I was a soldier once, in the years before the Crystal War. I saw many die at Galafor Fields. You could say I learned my lesson. Ask anyone and you'll get the same answer. They're animals. They care nothing for the mortal races. We're just dust to them. Enough! Keep your voice down. You're right, you're right. I'm a scoundrel and a coward. But you would have done the same thing. Give me a chance to make it right. You have my word, as a father. My informing days are over. Good riddance.
Isn't it a glorious day, as if Helios himself warms us with a smile? To what do I owe this courtesy? I only have a few moments to spare. The Godstorm awaits my return, and it doesn't like to wait. My advice to them would be to gain some perspective. Villages grow and burn. There is only one event that is worth our attention, and that is the Godstorm. Of course, I don't typically prefer the company of others. Take the leader of these refugees, for example. Master Elrod Edmund. Gruff, coarse, not a pleasantry in sight. I was born in the city of Rathir, an orphan of the Wending. One day, I stumbled upon the Scholia Arcana library, and I found new life in the ancient books. It is a good place to find the peace I need to complete my work, although the refugees have certainly slowed progress. I am not one for the cacophony of any kind. I don't know how the Fae in the Cradle of Summer can stand having us so near. Our mortal din is far too distracting, even for me. I have never laid my gaze upon it. Such a thing would not be proper. I am a dustling, a child of death. The Cradle of Summer must not be sullied by my taint. Why, the Godstorm is the greatest event that our fragile world has ever witnessed. It was a battle, a conflict between Fae. They call it the Withering War. That's why I relocated to Emer to complete my book, the definitive work on the subject. The village is nice enough, quiet, although the new arrivals give me no peace. Sadly, I lack the last few resources needed to tell the full story. The works of the famous scribes Ewald, Dalston, Callas, and Wildfrold. Gone. I was so close. It is not in the Fae's nature to fight. The summer and winter courts have existed in harmony since the beginning of time. Leave it to us mortals to ruin a good thing. 500 years ago, the Summer King Issa and the Winter Lord On broke from that pattern and fought a battle here, on this very plain. The land carries the scars. They are lost to the ages, I'm afraid. Mines such as Awald and Callas are rare. I suspect that their works have been spread across the plains. Athene's wisdom be yours.
Hello there.
Need a hand? Hello, I'm Orca Tetran, village healer. You're new in Amer. I never forget a face. Are you with the refugees? They are a sorry caravan. I, for one, believe their stories. Look what the Tuatha have done across the sea, and what they intend to do if they arrive here. Gods forbid. What would stop them from sending warriors to hunt us down by our very hearths? The Tuatha will not rest until they break us. That is why we must never let them. I've never met one so obsessed. He goes on and on about his life's work, as if other mortals will find his study of the Fae as fascinating as he does. You can usually find him holed up in his house across the way, but sometimes he spends time here with us in the tavern. I'm sure you've heard about how Amer is the birthplace of modern herbalism, a cradle of enchanted flora, a haven for the wildest reagents. Me, I don't care about that. I like the people. We get all sorts of interesting folk in here, like Oddwald the Scribe, like you. Nope, I'm never bored, not in Amer. Safe travels.
Please, make yourself comfortable. We don't see too many travelers in Amer these days. Not with that forest of tents growing out front. Relax, and partake of what our small hamlet has to offer. No problem. We just fixed one up all nice and tidy. You're welcome to it. Well, you know where to go if you need a place to rest. Refugees from the coast of Twili. They claim their village was burned by Tuatha, but I know better. The Tuatha here in the realm of the Summer Court? I think not. They began arriving several weeks ago, marching from Galafor with their belongings dragged behind them. We've given them all we can, but we only have so much. This is the birthplace of alchemy in the Feylands. These plains have been soaked in the deepest magic. Every leaf, every stem, every root holds secrets. If you want to know more about our history, and about the fascinating flora and fauna of the Forsaken Plain, speak to Molly upstairs. She's a sweetie. We'll be here if you need us.
Welcome. The road has been long for you, my friend. You wear the dust of a job well done. I thank you. The people of the Tuuli coast thank you. I have seen much savagery on the eastern shores. May it stay there, where blood fills the boots of the fallen. We all do our part. You have done yours. Stay vigilant.
Hello there.
hello. Lovely weather. Have you spotted any sativa fiber? It's okay if you haven't. I'll keep looking. Lovely weather. I use it in potions to protect the corporeal form, to ensure health and longevity. It also makes a pretty decent aphrodisiac. That's something you're interested in. There is no richer region for reagents in all of Amalur. They say this is where the summer fae first rose from the earth. I find the fae very odd. How about you? I've always felt a kinship with the flora of the plains. Do you? Can you feel them break the soil with their stems, their muse of thirst on the driest of days? I do. Leela Janik, didn't you know? I thought that's why you were speaking to me. I collect plants, to sell, to mix, to eat. Some of them I haven't figured out what to do with yet. What I'd love is some sativa fiber, fresh and unpicked. There's a patch of it, but the spiders won't let me near. Oh, hello. Did you just get here? Why wouldn't I want it? I've been chewing it since I was a child. It's what makes me impervious to harm. I'm completely indestructible, in case you hadn't noticed. If you can help me get that sativa, then I will be sure to give you a discount on all my alchemical goods. My sister Molly is a trainer. She'll drop her prices too, I promise. Don't do it on my account. The Cradle of Summer will provide. They have a nest in one of the small crevices at the foot of the cliffs. You'll know it by all the corpses. Oh, bye.
Thank the gods! Someone's come for me at last. Yes, I am the scoundrel you're looking for. Yes, I stabbed my partner in the back. Do with me what you like. Just please, please, take the amulet. It's yours. He lives in Amalur. Pompous blowhard going on about his artifact collection to any who would listen. Name's Imundus. Wayne Imundus. Edwin. He was my partner, and a good one. But soon as I saw the amulet, I had to have it. Stabbed Edwin, took the goods. You can say I paid for my treachery. I've trekked here for several days and nights in search of Sill Hollow, but I've yet to find it. I can't say I'm comfortable here. Too many fae, too much magic. Yes, and I am a thief. Never had a spot of good luck. But taking what belongs to others doesn't make me a bad man, just a weak one. It's terrible. Fire, ice, lightning. You will see. I'll tell you why. This Fey trinket belonged to Armand the Clever, and it's cursed. Like most, I considered it an old traveler's story. Well, now I'm a believer. It's real. I have the scars to prove it. Your only hope is to give it away, or to travel to Armand's Hollow, in hopes you can remove the curse, which is why I'm here. Please, take the amulet. I am so weak. I cannot withstand its influence. If I possess it any longer, I will surely die. Perhaps the most treacherous and playful Fae ever to walk the green lands of the Summer Court. Evidence of his trickery can be found all over the Phalanx. Armand's Hollow of Sil is not far, right here in the Cradle of Summer. That's where I'm headed now. It is my salvation. Legend says that Armand crafted it by combining lightning, fire, and frost, an arcane trick he stole from the Scholia Arcana. All I know is what I've seen. Once that amulet is in your possession, it will torture you. Only the strongest can withstand its punishment. Only one such as you. What a relief. You have no idea how long I've been trying to abandon that damn thing. In order to be rid of its curse, you must take the amulet to Armand's Hollow of Sil and cleanse it. Armand wishes to make you enter his lair and face its many dangers. But once you've done that, the amulet is yours to keep. If you ask me, it's a high price to pay for a rather dull trinket. It is ancient, they say, as old as the Cradle of Summer itself. Armand the Clever calls it his home, even though no one has reported seeing Armand for centuries. I'm sorry, but you took the amulet from me willingly. I won't touch it again. Go to the Hollow of Sil. It's the only way to cleanse the curse. That was my plan. Goodbye.
Are you one of the intruders? One of the children of the dust? What else can we possibly give you that you haven't already taken? The cradle of summer is not a flower for the plucking. I am Kalar, guardian of the cradle. Terenier and I safeguard what has never needed protecting, until now. With our weakening magic, the Fae must tend to our own. For many seasons, we have protected this sacred space from the darkening influence of the mortal world. For it is here where we Summer Fae first set foot in Amalur. But with the rise of the Tuatha, the magical barriers protecting the Cradle of Summer have weakened. If this continues, nothing is safe from the blight of winter. Mortals, children of the dust. Those who seek only to steal the treasures of the land from which we sprung, to end the deep slumber. Mortals, like you, who seek to bend nature to their will, to make it bow before them as a servant, not embrace it as a guide and mother. Mortals, thieves, liars, and weaklings. They have stolen items of great power. They have stolen the three staffs. They are Rivener Tarsus, Gloamfrost, and Ender's Fire. 3 incredible weapons forged to end a war that was threatening to engulf your mortal world. Such prizes, such items of power and importance cannot be kept in the open, and so they were hidden here. That is, until the intruders took them. A child of the dust wishes to help the cycle? Why, there is no precedent. If you truly wish to assist those of us in the deep slumber, you are welcome to. The 3 staffs were stolen from Sill Hollow and destroyed by the thieves who did not comprehend their power or their value. I heard their dying screams. The pieces must be recovered and the staffs must be reforged. If you can do this, you are more worthy of the cradle than I could imagine. But likely, you will not. It is the most powerful form of Fey reverie. A connection between our people and our birthplace of Ashara, the realm from which all magic is born. We in the Cradle of Summer slumber to protect this sacred place. We draw energy from our homeland and use it to maintain the barriers that keep out the beasts and men. They were wielded during the long twilight of the Withering War. Those 3 weapons uprooted mountains and left the lush plain forsaken. They are the lightning, the fire, and the ice. They are precious. While their magic has weakened in these fell lands, they are still cherished and must be returned. It is for those answers that I seek the wisdom of the slumber. For it is in its reverie where I will learn the whereabouts of these thieves, Raff, Purter, and Hagni. May your gods be with you.
From the naked dirt sprang the Majestics, the firstborn of the wilds of Ashara. Around them, they heard the song of splendor of a once and future summer. And they responded, and the earth moved. The carver shaped, the architect built, and the shaper composed.
My, you've gone and killed the spiders. How grand, how very grand. Normally I don't condone the killing of innocent creatures, but those are so creepy. You are too kind. From now on, you are considered a valued customer to all the Janiks. Everything is cheaper for the Spider Slayer. That is your name, isn't it? So long.
incredible! You're alive! The gods are good, my friend. Now, tell me, is today my lucky day? So, you found out. Gelt told you, did he? No matter. The amulet is cursed. That old fool in Emer won't want it back. I knew the gem was cursed. I overheard Faye speak of it, and of the great trickster Armen. But the curse is worth the agony. Imagine the gold! Wonderful. Give it here. The amulet itself isn't worth the stone it's made from, but it's the story that interests me. Something of Armen's belongs to me. I don't have much in the way of gold, but I have acquired quite the collection of useful items in my, travels? That's why I like you. You prefer action to debate. You will go far because of it. Like me. Well, like me before I was betrayed and left for dead. I am a refugee, heading west from the Tawili coast. A grieving son leaving his dead mother behind. To think there is scum that would steal a man's sole inheritance. Bye. Good working with you. You've got by.
Keep your eyes on your possessions. Stay out. Of trouble.
Be careful.
Greetings. You're in my path, stranger. I ask that you step aside before I cast you off the cliffs. I fought our Winter Court enemies right here on this soil. But it was all in vain. The seasons pass as they always have, and always will. There is no ending the winter. I was once part of the deep slumber, but wished to depart the dreaming to pursue something that is more familiar to mortals like you. Ambition. For seasons, I dwelled in the cradle of summer, as is my role in the telling. But something called to me from beyond the sea. A whisper of power and corruption. Can't you feel it? Ever since the Withering War, this stretch of earth has been enchanted. Some prefer to call it cursed, but I see all of this magic as a blessing. I walk the broken hills and ravines, searching for the answers to this question. What lies across the sea? Who is calling me with her fiery breath and knowing whisper? I hold it as dear as any fae, but my time had come. However, I took a piece of the cradle with me, a part of a weapon I was meant to protect. I'd earned that right. That's laughable. I don't know you, I don't trust you, and I don't like the looks of you. You appeal to me using your mortal sense of guilt, something I truly do not understand. However, my role in the telling does not include Riven or Tarsus. Take my staff. The peace you seek is within. May it bring clarity to the deep slumber. Be gone.